A new companion joins the fray. Another adventurer for the wagon. Though this one is different, not to be found at the crossroads. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Loki Oren, and we just received the initial teaser for the Bounty Hunter, and I just love even just the initial tagline: "The thrill of the hunt, the promise of payment." And we've got a lot of interesting stuff to unpack in this, and I thought we'd start off by just watching the initial video here. Hopefully, this doesn't break my recording here, but let's watch this, and then we'll scroll down and talk about what we saw. So here we go. Busting out all the stops here just to amp up the bounty hunter. I know he's a popular hero from the first Darkest Dungeon, and God, his model looks sweet. First of all, something I wanted to point out. Let me see if I can get. Nope, too far. So the first thing I noticed immediately when I was checking this out, what is this? He will deduct 4 candle flame, 4 light from the total earned in this expedition. Select a hero to replace. So you are literally like replacing one of your heroes with him for a zone. And as we scroll down, we will get into that. But I just want to point out that this might be the first like tiny glimpse of what is changing. We're not going to be dealing with hope anymore. We're going to be dealing with whatever this currency is, I think is what that means. But let's scroll down. So we get the name for the new update, the Altar of Hope, which is interesting because that's kind of the first. I guess there was the Trinkets and Baubles update. Thinking about the patch names, they seem to alternate between one positive and then one negative. So you have like Trinkets and Baubles, and then you have Shroud of the Deep. And you also have Oblivion's Ingress and Beasts and Burns. So I guess they're mostly negative, actually. But Altar of Hope sounds positive. But a new and enigmatic character to the Darkest Dungeon 2 roster, the Bounty Hunter, whose name is Mac. And he will join your companions for a price. And good lord, that art looks great. That is some gnarly looking art. I love it. So unlike the core group of adventurers who we meet at the crossroads, the Bounty Hunter just hangs out. He goes inn to inn, and you will occasionally see him. We saw that his picture will be up on the wall, and you can click that and hire him. Versatile and deadly. And this is something else I noticed but we didn't talk about. He's stronger and tougher. And if we look at, if we scroll up to the video, let me see if I can find it real quick. 72 HP base. He is even beefier than Barristan. And you don't actually care if he dies because you're going to get your hero back anyway. So he is a big, beefy boy. He's got high resistances. And as a consummate professional, he does not affect affinity. He doesn't, they kind of explicitly say he doesn't care. He's here to do a job. He doesn't care. He can still melt down, but doesn't do anything. And then we get his skills. So kind of as expected, the Bounty Hunter, as I remember him in Darkest Dungeon 1, was all about kind of setup and combo. So you've got Collect Bounty, his main attack, which is bonus damage if they have combo. Mark for Death applies combo and vulnerable. Come Hither is a drag forward and applies combo. Uppercut, another skill. All 4 of these skills are from Darkest Dungeon 1. They're basically the same skills, but uppercut, knockback, and stun. Flashbang, shuffle, blind, and daze, and stun if they have combo. And finish him, which is probably analogous to the finishing blow from the Pillagers. Ignores block and deals dramatically That's interesting. More damage to stun or dazed opponents. Caltrop, ranged single bleed, target bleed. Interesting, because Caltrops are an AoE bleed as an item. Then Hurl Bat, throw an axe. Heavy damage to burning targets, you say. And ignore dodge if they have combo. So that alone makes it a good skill, being able to ignore dodge with combo. But heavy damage to burning targets. So there's some synergies with Runaway. Because that's something we don't have, is like a Runaway, like a burning synergy. So that's kind of cool. Stare Down is kind of a defensive skill, applies weak and removes vulnerable, and adds taunt. No Escape. Wow. Whoa, yeah, that's that's not, no, there are other stuns, but this is probably one of the few like unconditional stuns. It is a, like, you straight up stun something and get combo. And Bodyguard, which does, which is very similar to the defending trait from the Man-at-Arms. And finally, and this is another new thing, passive ability, Professional. The bounty hunter has a chance to refresh combo on a target when using a skill that would normally consume it. So not only is he producing combo with a bunch of his abilities and consuming it with collect bounty and a few of, and finish him? No, finish him doesn't. Collect bounty does, Hurlbat does. There's a chance that he's just not going to use the combo point. But yeah, that's all we know so far. I mean, my early thoughts, this looks great. His model looks great. His skills look really interesting, and I can already kind of envision using him in almost any formation, because he just has a lot of flexibility. He's got a lot of utility and a lot of attacks. He's got quite a few skills that seem very good. And the fact that he's kind of a self-sufficient character, I mean, he can't heal himself, but you don't need to heal yourself if the enemy's dead. So yeah, definitely looking forward to playing with this, and he'll definitely be making appearances in my runs in the future. But that'll do it for now. We'll definitely be on the lookout for the Altar of Hope updates. I mentioned this in other videos, but I thought I'll mention it here as well. I'm actually getting married when at time of recording this weekend. So on the 17th. And, I will be out of the country for a week, so all my content's going to be pre-recorded, and I may be a little bit slow to respond. But hopefully when I get back, we'll have more information, and we can talk about it then. Until next time, see ya!